Hey guys, RunBuck. Gonna try something new in terms of war recaps. Let's call it journaling. War journal or war rundown, war replay. I don't know. Something. But in effect, I'm going to try to capture small 60-second videos throughout the course of the war, pointing out nuances of what's happening currently to try to give you a sense for war flow. Maybe that's the right name. War flow. So anyway, here it is for Reddit Elephino. They are a 2-2 clan war CWL Rising Division player. Compared to JTJ, looking at just their statistics out of the league, they're averaging about 2.5 stars below expected in Rising. So JTJ is averaging about a half star, so I would expect that we have a slight advantage going in, just skill-wise, based on just stats. Never played it before, don't know.
Sir, the possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
But raw numbers would say 2-star advantage. I would say probably 1 star because I would assume there's a little bit of more of a difficulty in bases at the rising level. We'll have to see how it plays out. Early on in the war, you can see right here that we are basically who knows. We're in the who knows phase. JTJ has scored 3 of 4. Let's take a look at those. So you can see those here. Juiced and VTech and Early Bird have all landed 3 stars and a good percentage there. So we're cranking it at 75%. Our average is 59% on Town Hall 9 hits, so we're above average right now. Meanwhile, over at the Reddit Elephino side, they're at 4 of 7. So they're tracking probably right at expected, about 59%. You can see they also missed a Town Hall 10 hit up on my number 1, but got close. I mean, it was like a sliver of health left on the Town Hall. So might get that on the next attack. And they landed some other attacks there on, they closed out Dirk and a Magnus and Early Bird. So we'll have to see where it goes. But again, early phase. I'll be back shortly with another update. How far are we in right now into that? 22 hours, 38 minutes into battle day. All right, a little war update for you. 29:33 right now, but what the hell does that mean? But we are, let's see, what's the actual time in the war? 20 hours and 39 minutes left. We're still in the Town Hall 9 phase. As you can see, they're a little bit ahead of us on attacks, but if I went to the actual summary, right now basically the attack percentage in terms of success rate on Town Hall 9 is pretty much the same. We're tracking at 7 of 11 closes so far for 63%, and they're at 8 of 13 for 61%. So it's too early to say much about anything. If they continue on at 60% rate, that'll give us 4 to 5 scouts up at Town Hall 10 from Town Hall 9. So hopefully that percentage will continue. We did have a couple early hitters. I'm going to show you attack. Before I get into that, though, I'm going to show you a couple attacks. Well, let's finish the stats out first. We did have a couple of early hitters at Town Hall 10 hitting up into Town Hall 11. They're at 50% right now, 1 of 2. So they've closed one of our bases out fresh with no scouts or anything. And one of our Town Hall 10s, Snow, I think, tried and hit up and ended up swinging and a miss for 0 for 1. So if we don't get a hit on our next one, we'll be trailing a little bit in the up hit category from Town Hall 10. But let me show you an attack at this point. We did have a new member, the dad, who came up from JTJ 4 to join Main, and he actually pulled off this beauty. Now he claims that everything went wrong, you know, nerves, as he said, and he didn't get the hero right, and didn't use the loons correctly, but I'll let you guys be the judge. Let's pick it up to, I don't know, what do you think, 2 times speed? 4 times speed. So it looks like a pretty good open. I mean, he's going in on the corner. Clearly he's going to be trying to take the mid here with all those ADs in central, and then he's going to try to hog run. Or actually, he's going for the distract play in the mid, and then he's going to hog run off the distract because he's got 20 hogs. So let's keep trucking. See what happens. Nice use of the heal right there to distract the, or allow the troops to continue to push Bowler specifically up in the mid without dying. And now he's got both expos turned in and firing into the core. That allows then his hog teams well-timed to come out. And that's what he really did well in this attack. I mean, you can see he has used both abilities here. I guess he felt like he didn't use them with the right timing. But the operation off distract, which is really the key of any hog movement, was really pretty well done. Now it actually ends up being closer than you would think. He ends up, see here, this is where he said I had these loons to use for late stage and he forgot to use them. He was supposed to kind of deploy them a little bit further out, but it ends up helping him out. So let's keep going. And you can see here though, the outside clutter is what he kind of ends up in a little bit of trouble with. Lost the king early, but he does, there's something up at the top there. Do we need to look at it? Sure. Oh, it's gone already. But he ends up with tons of time left. I think it was 12 seconds remained on the clock. So great first attack for joining Main. Welcome, Dad. Let's continue the flow. Hey guys, update for you from the war on Reddit. Elephino, or with them, however you want to look at it. We're 18 hours remaining now in the battle day. Some stuff has happened, so I thought I'd give it a quick update on some of the notables. High five out to King Necto. He just got promoted to Journeyman, and he just got a six-pack, I think, or did within the last update cycle. Right there. There he is. So good job with that. We're not going to show that right now, but pretty awesome. But more importantly, some of the stats. Here, I'll flip to the stat page. I think the dad just went too. Oh, not updated yet. He's still whacking away. Still whacking away down there. Should we jump in and see how it's going? Where did he go? Nope, he missed. So not bad for an opening though, the dad. But anyway, let's look at the stats from the war so far. You can see 22 and 24. They're still slightly ahead in number of attacks. Breaking it down again by Town Hall, we've got. Looks like we're still leading a little bit on the close rate at Town Hall 9. We're at 9 of 14. Well, I guess 9 of 15 now, but we'll stick with the stats I had a moment ago. 9 of 14, 64% for us versus 12 of 20 for Reddit Elephino. So a little bit higher percent close rate, but really too close to call still. Both camps, I mean, it is a 17 clashers within the Town Hall 9 category, so there's still a lot of attacks left for both sides there, so hard to say how that's going to pan out just yet. But more importantly, at Town Hall 10, we had some action. Since the last update. It seems that we went ahead and pulled off a couple. Went from in the last update, if you recall, we had only one Town Hall 10 had gone and missed. Snow had missed. He came back and got a follow-up hit on that. Again, I won't show you the actual notes, but he commented to the effect, had some issues around the loons drops and seeker mines, but he was able to salvage the attack. So good job for him and us. So that was good to see, but also we had some attacks from NATO and otherwise, getting us to an overall Town Hall 10 hit rate of 2 of 5, so 40%, and they're tracking at 1 of 4. So the hit-ups from both sides are going all right, but it looks like we're, again, a little bit ahead of them in percentage-wise right now. They're at 25% with 4 attempts, and we're at 40% close rate with 5 attempts. So right now it looks pretty good. If they close on their next attempt at a hit-up, they'll actually tie us there, so it's probably even. So no real advantage from Town Hall 10 hit-ups yet either. What does matter is we did have a Town Hall 11 nuke attempt, and that's what I'm going to show you from this update. Dark Eagle actually went twice from our side. He did get one of them, but he missed the other. And as you know, in these formats, oh, we got somebody else going while we're talking. Good luck, Woo Boy. But as you know, in these formats, if you miss a Town Hall 11 nuke, it gives an immediate advantage to the other team, and such is the case here. But let's take a look at his attack. Where's it at? There it is. Now I want you to look at, I'll start the replay, but I'm going to mark it up a little bit because I looked at this for a while because he did so well with the second attack. I was like, what's different? Can you see, as you look at that base, do you see why that's what he tried to do on there? You can see from his mix is a classic to-go witch bowler with, so witch bowler, and then which bowler 3 jumped through the core. Do you see why it won't work though? Here, let me zoom in for you. Maybe that'll help you. Do you see it now? How about now? Do you see it now? It's this. And you wouldn't have, I bet he didn't notice it as he went in there, but this base is specifically designed to stop this type of attack. This 2-gap channel, if you will, along the axis of the eye towers. If you visualize the bowlers coming wonking around through the middle here, it leaves, they can't reach that secondary line. It's too far in, except for this one right here. But that's the health of this is not enough to take out that, I don't think. And even if it was, it wouldn't take out this. So what happens is your core team will either go this way or this way, but it leaves a big old group right here. And that, coupled with also it'll end up some Tesla action coming from setback positions. So it's just too wide and spaced enough to make the bowler chucks from the core not work out, or witch shots not work out. Really, this base clearly is, now that you see that, you can see it's a air base that you should come in with like a 1 golem, simple cuts, 1 golem with an arbo behind it, take out the queen, get the inferno, and then round the horn you go. Is probably the right way to hit it. But let's watch the attack though. You can see what really happened. See, his deployment wasn't off. It's a little bit of a bump, so he gets a little bit of more loss to this side than he probably wanted, but then here's that flow, right? And notice how the rest stays here. We'll keep going with the flow, and we'll get you an update in the morning. It's 10 o'clock at night now, so we'll see what happens over the nighttime hours. All right, hey guys, update time. Looks like we've got about 8 hours and 48 minutes left in the war. It's the morning edition. We have awoken to see what the offshore team has done. I guess they would call us offshore in the United States if they're over there. But anyway, the guys over the water were hitting last night, and there were some progressions. Basically, it still looks like Reddit has the advantage off of the DE miss on the Town Hall 11 hit down. Haven't had anything that really changed the picture there. We did get a clear picture on the Town Hall 9 though. Right now there's only 2 attacks remaining on our side, and we have 2 open on their side, and our close rate dropped down below 50% for Town Hall 9. So odds are we're probably going to at least need 1 nuke, maybe 2, based on the statistics so far there. So not as ideal as we'd like to see, more of that 60% run rate. On their side in Town Hall 9, they too have 2 open bases left to hit, but 6 attacks remaining, all with the same 3 accounts. So I'm not sure what that means, but that could go very quickly for them, depending on if what I'm saying is basically one of those players could be a really good one and close them and then be done. So they may actually have some scout action available to them up on Town Hall 10, Town Hall 11, if one guy can really rise, our gal could rise to the occasion. Otherwise, it'll be pretty tight. And scouts have a small impact on Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11 play. Definitely something you want, but not a deal killer for them to have it. It still could hold with them. So that's the status on Town Hall 9. Town Hall 10 wise, we had some progress there as well. We actually are doing a little bit better there than they are. We're 3 for 7 on our Town Hall 10 hit-ups so far. Our percentage on that is 42%, up from 40, so that's pretty good. We'd want to see around 50%, but 42% is not bad. That probably means for that last guy, we're probably going to have to hit it 1 or 2 more times, and then we'll be done with that and be able to move on to pure attacking at Town Hall 10. No pure attacks at Town Hall 10 have occurred yet for either team. On their side, Town Hall 10 hit-ups, they've done 2 for 7, so our base defenses at Town Hall 11 are holding up just a little bit better. 28%, something like that. A little bit better than where they were at last time. They're going to actually let's take a look at that and take a look at their who they've been hitting. Granted, in this war, there's so many. I think there's 4 Town Hall 10s. Am I right? Yeah. 4 Town Hall 11s, 4 Town Hall 11s, so 5 through 13 are their Town Hall 10s. So they have a lot of options left to continue to close. But you can tell, what I was thinking about is whether or not they're getting into duplicate territory where, one guy can't hit the same twice. But they're really not there yet. And, you know, you've got 8 Town Hall 10s to hit one guy. So hopefully, I'm sure they'll close out the Town Hall 10 with 2 stars. It's just a matter of how many peer attacks they'll have left. So that still is unresolved. And the attack of the update for this segment is Charant. Supposedly, he did something amazing, according to Swootang, one of our leaders at Town Hall 10. One of the last remaining Town Hall 9s. His opener was sick. So here's the opener. I guess we're seeing something along this line. So he drops the Golem in. Oh, with a loon. Yeah, that's a little bit, that's unique. I see what Swoo's saying. Look at the value he is getting out of the loon. Wow, that is sick. Wow, good recognition. And that's actually something we've been talking about with the Town Hall 10 hit-ups. Even now that loon's still going. Judas. But as I was saying, with the Town Hall 10 hit-ups, a lot of the mixes are using a Golem style to enable flanker teams to go longer, bowlers specifically. And to understand, get great value out of a Golem shield for, you know, a bowler or loon flanker, you got to understand the Golem pathing. Much like we often will analyze to death the Queen Walk pathing. In this case, for the opening, very few people would think about it, but actually understanding the Golem pathing, where it's at, what defenses it's locking up as it moves, and where your supporting attacking units, or unit in this case, would be, is pretty important. We can see Charant is still rolling along here. Let me pick it up the space a little bit. Very dead core, so it's going to be a Circle C type of base, basically working stuff on a one-off basis. Oh man, this was really a good attack. Really good. You gotta like that. I mean, the opening was beautiful, and then the hold for the hogs at the backside, knowing that he's going to come in through here with the Golem. He had 2 Golems, so assuming they'd have some for the Queen to be able to be fronted, and then he comes back off the backside for the final finish with the hogs. Wow, great attack. Thanks to Swoo for pointing that out. The war flow continues. Will Reddit hold their lead? 64-56. It's going to come down to the Town Hall 10 peers, I think. All right, war flow update against Reddit Elephino. You can see things have been going down. We're at the 5-hour mark, basically. And both clans are now getting close to closing out Town Hall 11. Only one is open on each side. It's 10 attempts so far from them on us, and 8 attempts from us to them. So we're running out of shots from both parties. We'll have to see how it pans out. Hopefully, on our side, we'll get that closed out, but we'll have to see. Town Hall 9 is now closed out on their side from ours. It took 2 nukes. We did close it out and ended up using the other 4 hits for hit-ups from the Town Hall 9, so that was great. And they still have 2 open with what looks to be 4 attacks remaining on Town Hall 9. So they must be waiting for Town Hall 9 to do something exciting. But that's not the story for this update. The story of this update is actually the attack by peer by Swootang Clan. Let's take a look. Because as you might expect, if I'm all excited about it, odds are he did something incredible. Dare I say? I don't even know. I haven't looked at it real close. But let's just watch it together and see. So he opens with the Queen. He tends to like that in terms of getting the Queen into position where he get the Infernal. Let's see if he pulls it off this time. Yeah, King's playing shield for the bowlers. That's nice value. Oh, and there's that Queen. See that nice, you know, working the Queen into the exposed eye tower. He consistently does that in a lot of his attacks. Oh, that loon got some damage there. But now we've moved into the air phase. He's basically given up on the Queen. And he's just running a strong push with the Lalunian snipe off the edge of Hound action. And he just can't, even though he's got a pretty solid from that Hound that popped and killed the Queen, he's got a lot of pups that are actually chasing his loons all over the board. But it doesn't look like, oh, here comes one down here. Well, what are you going to do about that minion, though, big man? Nah, that's not going to work out for you. And he's plenty of firepower remaining for Swoo, and closes it out. Not even a time issue, I don't think. Was he close on time? Does anyone remember where it started? Excellent attack by Swoo, and that was critical because, as you remember from the prior update, we were down by a theoretical 1 due to the miss by Dark Eagle. Now we're kind of tightened up again.
You ready? Oh yeah, baby. Come on, let's do this. Let's go.
With the Town Hall 11 nukes, so we're basically playing for even at this point with destruction unless another miss occurs at Town Hall 11 or we get another peer hit landed by one of the two sides. So stay with the flow. We'll be back. Hey guys, time for another Warflow update. 1 hour and 6 minutes remain. We're getting down to the short hairs, and there's been a lot going on since we last chatted. Take a look at this. We've had 2 misses at Town Hall 11 nukes from both sides. Yours truly had one of them, but it happened, right? So the point is, though, we're still up by 1 3-star. You would expect that they could match that. I mean, when you look at, well, I won't show the base, but let me look at we'll do the replay because then you won't see the scouted stuff. Yeah, but so this base, you can look at it. I mean, it's pretty underleveled for Town Hall 10. So you would expect that they're going to be able to do that. So we're expecting they're going to be able to tie it up in terms of 3-star count. One of the interesting things, too, is there's only 3 nukes left from Town Hall 11, but there's a lot of open bases on both sides. Really 5 and 5 if they get that. If they close this guy out, there'll be 5 open bases on each side. So then it becomes really a war of, can the Town Hall 11s, the 3 remaining on each side, have perfect nukes, and or can the Town Hall 10 attacks? There's basically 5 attacks on both sides, 6 for them. Wait, no, there's 3 attacks on both sides at Town Hall 10. Can those 3 attacks? 1, we still have an open from both sides. My base is still open, and their number 1 is open, and they both have had, like, I don't know, shoot, how many? 6 defenses for me, and 4 defenses for him. So they're running out of shots against the 1, and at some point they're going to have to start either deciding to leave it there. I think I'm not sure exactly when they're going to decide that, but it's definitely something they're pondering right now. It's the same with our team. We're not sure if we can get their 1, and we would really like to try to get some peer attacks on their Town Hall. This number 11, the one I missed on, and this number 12. But let me show you my attack. We always try to show one attack in these Warflow updates. So here it is. And I picked this base. I shifted off 9 because I thought this would be easier. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do real cool like bowler snipe things, and so I'm feeling all good about myself. And I was worried because there's a Tesla farm right here, so I decided to come in directly from this. And this is the error that I made, right? I chose to have this entry on almost the edge line of one of the bases when typically you try to enter more in the middle. And what do you risk when you do that? Especially when there's a big health unit right there in the corner. You risk this. And look at him go. Goodbye! Come back! Idiot. So really, lesson learned there. If you're going to come in, or you feel like you need to come in to take out a Tesla farm, do the diagonal. Do cuts like this. And then just go right through the mid. If you have to do it. But otherwise, try to keep the jump points in a place where you know you're going to keep your main troops going to mid. Because otherwise, you're going to be screwed. And I was. So hopefully the team itself, though, can come back. Should be an interesting hour. Basically, we're, again, 1 up, but we expect them to get that 3-star. So it's basically tied. I think they actually have percentage on us because some of their nukes were a little higher percentage. So it'll really come down to the Town Hall 11 nukes. Who does that perfect? And if another peer can be getting, use whatever term you want. We'll find out soon. More to come. All right, the closing moments of the war with Reddit Elephino. If you recall, you were just here, so you surely are recalling. We had just left. I had missed my 3 attempts on a nuke, and then Swoo had pulled it off to make it even again. Let's just scroll through the stuff as it happened, because right after that, then their Town Hall 11 missed their nuke. So we were up by 1 once again. So we were like, oh, happy day. Or actually up by 2 at that point. Up by 2. Important clarification. Because they continued on trying to close me, miss. Then they tried to close. Remember I was talking about the 13 base that we wanted to close out? Missed again on that. Then A-Boy, they tried to close A-Boy. Almost got it, but missed again. Another Town Hall 11 nuke miss. Important. So now we've had 2, so now we're up by 2, I think, at that point. But A-Boy misses on his attempt on 6. Well, actually, that was we told him to hit that because we were trying to get the close there and get the star and just leave it. So that was actually intentional, not a problem. Then Carlos and Hung actually pulled off a back-to-back nuke, bang-a-bang, but that was, we needed that, so nothing really changed in the up-down factor. Then they attempted and hit me, critical, because both number ones were open with just 1. So at this point, our lead was 1 star. Then Space misses on their 1, so we failed now, and basically we have no more attempts. Well, we have 1 more attempt left on their 1. Their 3 goes ahead and pulls off a nuke. That was in plan, so still up by 1. Swoo misses on their 1, keeping a 1-point lead. They have 1 last attempt on a pier, and he gets it. No, that's a nuke. Gets it, but expected, so still up by +1. I pull off my nuke. Thank God. They put me on the short bus, maybe hit the lowest base. And then, of course, their Pier 12 missed on R12 for the win because they couldn't close it. And that's a W. Look at all the defenses. 7 defenses on my base. And let's see how many Elysier had defense-wise. Where's he at? Oh, yeah, 14, 13, 4. So, definitely a great defensive war. Their base did pretty well as well. They had 6 defenses there, and we never closed it. So that was interesting as well. But anyway, great war by both sides. If I was going to show one last attack, what would I show? What was really awesome? Does anything jump out at me like, boy, I wish I could show this? We'll just leave it at that. You've seen enough replays. We'll try to clean it up next time, try to get something that shows a better way of modeling it, but this is our first attempt at Warflow, so hopefully you liked it. We'll see where it goes from here.